So, apparently Joe can walk now. Again.
He's a family guy.
Let the Good Times Walk is the 14th episode and aired on Sunday, May 10th. While attending a fundraiser at Adam West High School, Peter gets the idea to buy a saxophone, but his attempts to learn Careless Whisper annoy everyone around him. After multiple nights of being awakened by Peter's antics, Joe borrows a powerful sleep aid from Quagmire, which has the side effect of making him sleepwalk despite his legs no longer working. The guys discover that while under the influence of these pills, Joe becomes a cooler, more laid-back person who names himself Joey Goodtimes. After he unconsciously throws an awesome summer solstice party and has amazing relations with Bonnie, Joe is bummed that he doesn't remember any of it and that everyone prefers his sleepwalking self. Feeling that his loved ones are bored with him and deserve better, Joe reluctantly keeps taking the pills, but his friends have trouble keeping up with him during a trip to the Quahog Public Golf Course. While stewing in their exhaustion, they realize that the old Joe was truly superior since his status as the group punching bag helped make them feel better about themselves. They catch up with Joey, who stayed behind to play another 18-hole round, and despite his resistance, they manage to wake him up by asking him a series of questions with trivial answers. In the end, Joe feels welcome among his friend group again, and reveals that he dumped the remaining pills down the final hole, where they are later taken by a groundhog under the course.
I'm gonna turn Groundhog Day into Poundhog Day.
So that was Let the Good Times Walk. The main plot was pretty good, and did you notice something? There was no A and B plot. They actually made a storyline so interesting that they only needed one plot line. That's amazing, especially for modern Family Guy. But I liked how they made Joe a completely different person under the sleeping pills. However, in the episode, it stated that if Joe takes the pills for too long, some dangerous things might start to happen to him. But we never get to see those effects. So I wish they took a bit of time to delve into that instead of the 800 saxophone gags. But overall, it was pretty interesting, and some of the jokes landed very well, especially with Quagmire.
And what vintage is this one?
2022 Junior Varsity, sir.
Excellent year. Okay, that's 17, but let's just call it 18 for legal reasons.
So considering everything that happened in this episode, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. High School History is the 15th and final episode and aired on Sunday, May 17th. Bemoaning the malfunctioning of his time machine, Stewie attempts to call tech support. Brian soon interrupts, bragging about how textbooks are like time machines that never break, and proceeds to read about 3 various time periods. In the year 1789, King Louis XVI learns that France is in debt due to his lavish lifestyle and levies a tax on the peasantry, much to their chagrin. Robespierre and Danton decide to start a revolution by rallying the citizens, storming the palace and getting Louis beheaded alongside his wife Marie Antoinette. Robespierre and Danton end up getting carried away with the guillotining, killing off everyone they dislike, and eventually betraying and executing each other. In 1861, Abraham Lincoln is sworn in as president, only for the American Civil War to kick off soon after. Lincoln is convinced that slaves should be freed, but decides to send them to the Army's front lines under the guidance of Ulysses S. Grant. At the same time, John Wilkes Booth attempts to kick off an improv career at the Gettysburg Address, but is bumped by Lincoln. After the war is won by the Union, Lincoln celebrates with a trip to the theater, only to be assassinated by a vengeful Booth. Finally, in 1939, Woodrow Wilson relays to President Franklin D. Roosevelt that World War II is underway and is ravaging Europe, with the Nazis having decimated England and France. After Pearl Harbor is bombed, America plots a counterattack on Hitler, who is busy trying to abduct the Von Trapps from Austria. Eventually, the Nazis are defeated with help from FDR, who dies in office. He orders Harry Truman to make peace with Japan, but the latter misconstrues this as an order to nuke Hiroshima. Nonetheless, Japan eventually surrenders. So that was High School History. the final episode of the season, and they decide to end it off with a 3 Small Stories episode. Normally, I'd be a little upset, but honestly, I'm not even that mad, because this one was so fun. A lot of the jokes were funny, especially the Gettysburg Address and the misunderstanding jokes. Like, for example, the Stop Stalin gag.
Stop Stalin? How is that a plan? I thought you wanted me to stop Stalin. Of course I want you to stop Stalin. This is a grave and important matter.
And I want to say, I love the callbacks to the older episodes, specifically the one from the French Revolution where Stewie says this line.
Marie Antoinette's novelty fake neck was provided by Jacques' Joke Shop of South Attleboro, France. Remember, if it ain't it ain't worth Jacques.
So see, they can in fact use callbacks sparingly, because when they overuse them, it doesn't make it as funny. Either way, this is a fantastic way to end off this season. So considering everything that happened in this episode and all the jokes and history references, I'm gonna wrap the season up with a 9 out of 10. And that marks the end of Season 24 Family Guy. Here is my ranking of every single episode. And it was mostly positive aside from a few outliers, but overall I would say this season improved a lot. There weren't as many cutaways, the humor was much more stronger, we got many more character development moments, and I feel like they're starting to improve on the plots a little bit more. But what do you think? Hopefully you enjoyed this video and the episodes too, along with the entire season. Did you like the episodes? Did you think they were okay? Which one did you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. Now before I end this off, I want to say that this will not be the end of Family Guy reviews, because I'm thinking of reviewing seasons 1 to 3 this summer. That's right, the entire pre-cancellation era. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more Family Guy on JBTV, so get ready for that. Anyways, thanks for watching, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you when I see you.